And one of the best things that our magnificent mind does for us really well is that it gives us our habits. When most of us think of our habits, we actually think of bad habits. But almost all our habits are good for us. In fact, if we didn't have our habits, our life would be an unlivable mess and we may not even survive. We learn to walk by habit, talk by habit, play a musical instrument, work, drive, even think by habit. And that's a big one, thinking by habit. Our habits actually make us more efficient at what we do, because when we learn something by habit, we no longer have to spend any time thinking about it. It's become second nature, effortless. And if we practice a habit long enough and often enough, and enough of us practice it, it actually enters our genes to be passed on to the next generation. Think about it. We are now genetically wired for complex speech, and that wasn't always the case. And we're genetically designed for walking upright. And some of us are lucky enough to be genetically endowed to play music or sport better than others. Now, not all of our habits are good, but the good news is that in this interconnected world, where everything connects to everything else at some energetic level, it only takes the slightest change in anything, including our habits, to make a world of difference in our lives. For example, at 16 degrees centigrade, most plants begin to flower and bloom. But lower that temperature just a little to 14 degrees and those same plants begin to shut down for winter. And set the temperature of your refrigerator at 7 or 8 degrees centigrade and food will spoil soon enough. But lower it again just a little to 4 degrees and presto, fresh food for a long, long time. And even in our relationships, the slightest change in outlook can alter the entire relationship. Begin catching your partner doing things right, not always wrong, and you'll find yourself no longer deafened by that ceaseless chatter going on in your head about them anymore. My point? We find it easier to work at overcoming a bad habit when we know that we live in an interconnected world where the slightest change in anything makes a world of difference.